Meatheads are worth 200 XP, which is half a boss kill. So if you ignore them, you're missing out on a lot of XP. If you blow them up, every enemy on the server is gonna know exactly where you are. So let's talk about the two fastest ways of killing them quietly. The throwing knives and the hand crossbow poison bolts. Of course, there are many other options of killing a meathead quietly. But I chose these two options because they have the least impact on your loadout and are very efficient. Both have their upsides and downsides, but before we get into the killing, you need to know how the meathead moves. Once it takes damage or is alerted by one of its leeches about your presence, it will charge into that direction and swing its weapon 2 times. Then it will turn around and perform another 2 swings while standing still. After that, it will chill until taking damage again or being alerted, and then repeat the sequence. So here's how you kill the meathead with the poison bolts of the hand crossbow. It is the easier way because you won't risk taking damage. Shoot your first poison bolt at the meathead. Right when it finishes its sprint, hit it with the second poison bolt. That's when you know it won't move away from the poison cloud for the next few seconds. And then simply do it a third time. This way it will only take 3 poison bolts to kill, or even less if the meathead gets stuck in one of the poison clouds. There are 2 things to keep in mind when using this method. First, keep it in the poison cloud for as long as possible, and second, you don't have to hit it directly, but if you do so, instead of hitting the ground near it, it will make it a lot easier. When killing the meathead with throwing knives, be aware of the following things. First, your aim, because while the meathead swings, it will shift its body and you might miss some knives. Aim for the meaty part in the center and try not to hit the arms because it will take less damage there. Second, pull out the knives between its swings, in its cooldown phase, so to speak. And third, don't get tagged by the leeches because it will ruin your kill time. So killing it is pretty straightforward. You just hit it with all your throwing knives. But because it takes more throwing knives to kill than you can carry, you need to pull them out again. Once it finishes its swing, you move in, spam the pull-out button to pull out as many knives as you can in a very short period of time, and then move out again. And then hit it again. If you don't hit the arms, you only need to get close once for the pullouts. A lot of you might prefer the throwing axe over the throwing knives for all kinds of enemies. It works for meatheads as well, but you will have to get close to it more often for the pullouts, because it takes 6 hits and 5 pullouts with the throwing axe. And I know it might be scary to get close to the meathead at first, but trust me, it's just like a really simple boss. Once you have figured out how it works and moves, dancing around it will be a piece of cake. Now, when using the throwing knives method, you can use any weapon combo you like, which is a big plus for me. But if you have the bolt thrower trait, you might want to consider going the hand crossbow route and free up the tool slot for something else. On top of that, you will be able to deal with a lot of nasty AI, like armored, immolators, bosses, dogs, and even birds. Personally, I like to pair the hand crossbow with the wind field, because whenever I play the Winnie, I never switch to my secondary weapon in firefights anyway. The fire rate is just that fast. And if you do use your hand crossbow in firefights, at close range you can one-shot people using the regular bolts. Although you need to be very precise for that. The Fetterly or the Springfield Krog would be 2 other good options to pair with the hand crossbow. If you're a fan of playing solo or have good communications with your teammates, of course the full-size crossbow, or the bow, especially with the poison arrows, are 2 other very viable options for a close to mid-range build. Now, I don't want you to make killing meatheads your sole purpose in the bayou, but you saw how easy it is to kill them quickly and quietly. You would be missing out on a lot of XP on your way to the boss. And after you get rid of all your enemies, you can still have some dynamite fun on your way out.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. The flames are hot, but their heart is chilled. Walk fast from that boring explosion, and don't think about the people you've killed.